Hey everybody, Brian Von Vier here. What is your favorite D&D race? That's the topic of the day. Leave yours down in the comments below, and if you want to guess mine in the comments below, feel free to give it a shot. Right now, Goliaths. I'll admit my bias. I like big, strong warrior races because I like mundane melee classes the best. But I do get sick of it when they all boil down to half-orcs and dwarves with a coat of paint. What I like about Goliaths is that they're big, tough, and strong, but still feel unique both in terms of statistics and in culture. Goliaths are hardy, daring, nomadic cliff dwellers. They're born with sets of markings on their skin that they pride themselves on and believe to foretell their destiny. Because of this belief, that part of their fate is determined by the time of their birth. They tend to be fearless, believing that they'll see any troubles and trials through to their ultimate fate. Goliaths don't believe in discrimination either, only survival of the fittest. They mock other races that discriminate towards women, for example. They believe everybody should have a chance to prove themselves and that the best person for a job is the one who can do it the best, regardless of anything else. Goliaths also have 3 names: a personal name, a clan name, and a nickname. Their nickname changes on a whim, but they never choose a nickname for themselves, only by others. However, they are free to choose nicknames for their friends and frequently do for any other races they travel with, tailoring it to the stories and deeds of their friends. How cute. Lastly, the stats. Stone's endurance lets them periodically reduce damage that they take in. Powerful build lets them count as one size larger for the purposes of carrying weight and grappling. Otherwise, they're pretty standard, but I think they're strong statistically and their culture and world building is awesome. I'm going to stick with 5th edition on this one. 4th edition is not worth mentioning, and while 3.5 is superior in most every way to 5th edition, other than the balance of it and simplicity, it would take me all day to get into the dozens and dozens of 3.5 races. Number 1 favorite, Yuan-Ti, best for any charisma-based spellcasters. This guy right here is so OP that it really should be banned. If you want a character immune to magic, just pick this race in the Paladin class. Your DM will hate you, especially if they like to run magic-heavy campaigns. I'm going to start with the lesser awesome points on the Yuan-Ti and work my way to the most awesome. You get free poison spray, which is meh. It's useful for the first couple of levels, and after that, not really so much. Free charm animal spell, snakes only. This isn't really all that useful, of course. It's cool for flavor if you want to walk around with a snake wrapped around your neck. But after level 3, it's, well, pretty worthless. Languages. Abyssal and Draconic are some nice freebies, especially Draconic. Dark Vision, always useful. +2 to Charisma, +1 to Intelligence, very useful for most spellcasters. You have immunity to poison. This is pretty awesome in my opinion, because poison is a fairly common damage type that comes up a lot either through magic or monster abilities. Also pretty awesome if you want to cast a poison area effect centered on you. And lastly, magic resistance. Oh my god! This is the most OP ability in all of D&D racedom. You get to roll twice for every spell and spell-like ability thrown at you. Now, depending on what kind of campaign you're in, this ability can be either extremely useful or straight up game-breaking. Now imagine having this ability and being a paladin with charisma bonuses to saves. Yeah, you're gonna break everything and the DM will loathe you. Number 2, Bugbear for melee classes. Languages, you can speak Goblin, it's better than nothing I guess. Surprise attack, extra 2d6 damage if you succeed in a surprise attack. Not that impressive, but every little bit helps, right? Powerful build. This could be a very useful one if you're one of the few players that has a DM that actually tracks the weight of what you're carrying. Dark Vision, always useful. Stats, +2 to Strength and 1 to Dexterity, perfect for your average melee build. Long-Limbed. Now this is the ability that makes this class so frickin' OP. 5 extra feet of reach. You get the right combo of feats and no one will ever get within 15 feet of you without getting attacked. Do you want the most badass fighter to ever grace the likes of 5th edition? Get the Bugbear. Aarakocra for archer classes. Languages. You know Aarakocra and Orin. These are probably the 2 rarest languages in the entire game, only useful if other party members speak them, then you have a secret language that no one else will speak. Talons. 1d4 damage when engaging in fisticuffs. It's kinda meh. Stats. +2 to Dexterity and +1 to Wisdom. perfect for your standard archer. Flight. Now this is what makes the class right here. You have a flight speed of 50 feet. In the beginning levels, you will be unstoppable, and at later levels, it will still be extremely useful. Not only are you fast and have the advantage of shooting from above, but if you get the right feats, you could be raining down death from 400 feet up in the air while being pretty much impossible to kill. It might get pretty boring after a while, but you will always have bragging rights. I had so much fun playing a Tabaxi. To get my character inspiration, I would just look for cat memes and boom, roleplay inspiration. Cat memes. I could have cheeseburger. I played a Tabaxi Ranger and loved the movement options and acrobatics to spaz out everywhere. Ah yes, 3 a.m. Nimbus, got you. If your DM allows you to use Unearthed Arcana or Adept races from previous editions, Warforged are absolutely amazing. They are mechanical super soldiers created only to win a war, but they have the capacity for more. Being constructs, they don't age or die of natural causes. The only Warforged I've had the privilege of playing was insanely old. Like in the 30 to 40,000 year range, a veteran of a long forgotten war. He was a fighter who was forced to become an artificer to repair himself over time, and he was the last of many remaining. Warforged are also beautiful from a philosophical perspective. Genderless beings created for one specific purpose that can feel emotion, but lack the ability to express it and can't be considered alive? How does a 7-foot-tall metal man who was made to be an intimidating soldier fit into times of peace? What kind of job would a robot with an unchangeable scowl get? What kind of friends would it have? It would mostly lack social skills due to people's natural aversion to it. If anyone actually took interest in it, it would be most likely from a mechanical perspective and not about who the Warforged is as a person. I would highly recommend playing a Warforged if you can. They are a very interesting race that can be so much more than they look on the surface. Here's an edit. Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron has introduced the official 5th edition Warforged. I'm absolutely stoked to play a new and improved version of the giant magical robot. My favorite D&D race is Pixie. I have 2 and 3.5. Flit Puddle, the self-appointed greatest Pixie fighter in the world. He's a rogue fighter using 2-weapon fighting who's always invisible, so in most instances, he gets sneak attack damage on every hit with each weapon. And Ray, a quiet fellow dealing death from above, a sorcerer with the invisible needle feat. He flies above the battlefield, raining down mayhem on the unsuspecting enemies below. Against tough opponents, he drains their ability scores to the point where they are unable to fight or cast spells, then shoots them full of holes. Honestly, the mud-brown, common, low-born, bog-standard primitive humans. Yeah, elves are magical and advanced. Sure, dwarves are doughty and tough. Yeah, orcs are fierce warriors. Oh, Dragonborn are cool and dragony. Sure, tieflings are demonic and cool in an edgy way. And I do love me some edge. And yes, gnomes are funny, ha ha! But they are tropes. If you go for one of the above races, either you'll be playing along with the trope or turning it on its head. Meanwhile, humans have such a breadth of real-world cultures to borrow from that each character is sure to be unique. For instance, out of the 3 characters that I have created thus far, one is an aging city guardswoman, a bastard by blow of a noble who now has to support her highborn sister and nephews while remaining committed to upholding the law. One is the last survivor of a French-themed village where the priests are chosen because their god refuses to let them into the afterlife, and who struggles with their trauma of her first death when she was just born. That gave me the shivers. And the last one is a barbarian discovering her new warlock powers, whose arch nemesis is civilization in general and Windows in particular. Why Windows? We need an explanation now, man. So, for me, this is why humans are my favorite race. They're so varied that you can come up with any story from the gritty to the tragic to the unintentional humor. I would say the Dragonborn. Go ahead, label me whatever you like. I don't like them for their dragon breath, or that they're physically cool, but they have such diverse personalities. You can make them stern and tough, fatherly, philosophical, brutal, etc. The ability to change their draconic ancestry lends itself well to customizing their personality and behavior. For example, a gold, female, sarcastic Dragonborn. Black, male, battle-scarred. Brass, talkative, well-behaved. White, which is protective and analytical. There are many styles of depicting Dragonborn, such as anime, black and white drawing, painting, and 3D rendering. Just like humans, how you depict them is crucial to defining their personality. And if you think about it, they have just as much potential as humans do for character. For me, it's the Changeling. I mean, they're just the perfect race for a rogue, especially a thief or an assassin. The versatility of being able to just become another person at the drop of a dime is pretty ridiculous. Assassinate a target, dip around the corner, change your appearance, and maybe throw on an overcoat? No one's the wiser. Imagine if you have some sort of quick change outfit to wear along with it. You can literally walk right in, steal something from a shop, run away, dip out of sight to quick change, and walk right back in the store like nothing happened. It's just nuts. I'm kind of surprised how few people play Changelings, to be honest. Heck, in 5th edition, they're even more broken now than they ever used to be, because you used to only be able to change into a race of your same size. Now you can change into any humanoid race of medium or small size. For me, I have a hard time topping Aasimars. Let's see here, you can be medium or small and basically look like any other race, but have the Aasimar traits. You get dark vision, always useful. You get resistance to both necrotic and radiant damage, which, man, let me tell you, from experience, the necrotic resistance is god tier at higher levels of play. You get the best utility cantrip of the game for free. No, I'm not kidding, I will die on this hill. Light is the best utility cantrip in the game. Go through a dungeon crawl without it and you'll understand why. Torches are annoying, and you can't fight sword and board while trying to hold a torch. In most dungeons without a light source, you're attacking at disadvantage even with dark vision. Once you hit level 3, you get to choose between a free near-range fear effect, a free mini-nuke of radiant damage within 10 feet of you for 1 minute, or the ability to fly for a minute. With all 3 of these options, you do extra necrotic or radiant damage on 1 attack per turn equal to your proficiency bonus. Now, admittedly, the original 5th edition Aasimar was better, and they did nerf it in Monsters of the Multiverse, like they nerfed a lot of things. You used to get those options through your sub-race at level 1, though they did remove the whole "you do damage to everyone, including yourself" from what used to be the Scourge Aasimar sub-race. Now it's called Radiant Consumption, which it doesn't even sound as cool, to be honest. The extra damage also used to be equal to your level, which actually made it really powerful at higher levels. I still play 2 Legacy Aasimars, one at level 11 and one at level 14. It's nice to know that once per turn, if I'm using my Radiant Soul, I can just decide that one of my hits does either 11 or 14 extra radiant damage respectively. But in reality, the real reason Aasimar are my favorite race is because I tend to play lawful good clerics and I lean heavily into the deity-related aspects of the characters. So having a bringer of divine justice who can lean even more heavily into the radiant damage when it's needed is just fun for a roleplay and story standpoint. Hey everybody, Brian Von VA checking in after the vid. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and let us know in the comments below, what is your favorite D&D race? Also, what's your guess about mine? See you later, bye for now.